Hi there. In this video, we will learn about Oracle User Management. But before we start this topic, I want to tell you something. User management is very basic but very important topic to understand and to learn by every DBA. If you are a fresher or you are experienced DBA, still you need to deal with this topic on day-to-day basis. Because even if you have database installed in a system but you don't have any user, then it does not make any sense to have a database. Without user you can't access the database, right? So most of the issues on day-to-day operations you will get related to user management only. Okay, even whatever kind of request it is, but somehow the ratio of request or issues more other than other topics, user management is higher. So effective user management is very important in production or real-time environment, right? So in this video, we will even if you are there is a automation in your company or in project for user management, still you need to understand everything about user management. So in this video, we will try to cover it from very scratch and very basic things so that you will have some idea what are the requests and what kind of stuff we are going to do in this topic. All right, so this is my blog w3buddy, and you can just type the URL w3buddy.com. Here I post very important stuff related to Oracle DBA and other topic as well on daily basis. And there are very good document for Oracle DB activity, so you can just open this blog and explore as per your convenience. And here I created one separate menu for Oracle DBA. Here multiple options are there, so you can navigate as per your requirement. So currently I am in this menu, Oracle DBA day-to-day task. Here you can also search for particular topic. Here also you can search, but you can see there are lots of important stuff are available here. Okay, so this is very basic things I already always post here, and I'm 100% sure after navigating this blog it will make some sense for you. Okay, so without delay, let's start. In this video we will understand everything and we will also do the practical. All right, so first we will understand what is user. An Oracle user is an account that connect to the database and perform operations. That means is a kind of account username, right? Through you are connecting to the database. Simple. Managing users ensure proper access control, security, and organization of the database. It is not like you we just provided a user and you can do anything. No, in real time, client is having different kind of requirement because there are many department and every department is having different kind of access to the database. Because if suppose I'm not doing X work, then I'm not requesting for X access, right? Whatever I'm doing, only I am client is asking for that much permission to the database. So here DBA play an important role to manage those access, understand client requirement and provide them required access only, not full access. All right, so we will see everything, and here I kept all the important commands here, and you will have some wonderful material after this. Okay, I will paste this link in the video description as well. Alright, so for practical purpose I installed Oracle 90C in my laptop, and I'm using that Oracle 90C through VS Code, and in VS Code I already installed a SQL Developer extension. So just to make sure it should display everything perfectly for you, so I'm using this tool, not using command prompt, because command prompt terminal is not good, right? Alright, so here my database is installed and we will see one by one. So first command is for creating a new user. So here you can see create user w3buddy identified by password, profile default table space users, temporary table space temp. So this is the basic syntax for creating user. But in real time environment, this is not the same, because every time customer is having some different profile already which is exist in the database, or they created. Okay, default table space we need to provide as per customer request, temporary table also we need to provide as per customer request. So what I experience in my career, many DBAs always hesitate whenever they are having some request for user creation. They always hesitate, these things need to ask or not. But my question is, why not? See, we can't do anything in real time situation. Okay, so if you are unsure, you are not sure, what kind of stuff the people are asking, so it is always better to ask the customer clearly, and customer will be very happy. We are getting the clear requirement from here in one shot, and we are creating user as per his requirement, not as per as assumption, right? So it is always a good practice to ask each and everything to the customer, then only proceed with the request, right? So in this case I'm creating with default things, and but in your real time these should maybe the different. So always ask to the customer. Okay, let me copy this and let me try to execute here. First let me check if the w3 body is available or not. So you can check select star from dba underscore user. This is a view you can use to get the detail. See here multiple users are there, but I don't think so w3 body is currently created. Okay, all right, so we will create that w3 body user now. See, this is the command create user w3 body identified by password, profile default table space users, and table space this. Let me create this. The user w3 body created. All right, now we will provide some access. This is the minimum access, minimum and mandatory access which you need to provide for create session. Like no, then only it will allow to connect to the database. Otherwise, it will not allow. So this is the minimum permission. Without asking, you can provide it from as per DBA. As you DBA, you need to understand this. Okay, so we will provide the basic permission to that user. See, grant succeeded. Right now, next, see. You may also grant role like connect, resource, or custom role if needed. User needs access to create table procedure. Apart from this permission, other permission you can only provide if customer asks. Otherwise, no need to provide. All right. So it is also a good practice to ask what kind of permission he need and why need. If suppose any kind of permission in production, you need a approval from database owner. So always seek an approval before proceeding with the permission. Now we will see. We will check the user status if user is already created or not. Okay, so let me execute this command here. Everything is handy, right? And see, it will ask for the user value, right? Value is null, so we can provide it w3 body, or we can just simply check, because here in see w3 body is available. Username w3 body, account status open, default created, everything is there, right? Default table space users, temporary table space tab. All right, so user is created. Now let me clear this. What is next? Now we will suppose, for example, you have a requirement to change the password for that user. So how you can change the password? Alter username identified by password. So this is the command to change the password. I kept these are the basic things, but I kept here just for your understanding purpose. See, user w3 body altered, that means password change. New password is this. All right, now let me for example we have created user, but we won't, as a DBA we won't, when user try to log in, it will ask for the password and we will expire his password, because if suppose whatever password we have created during account creation, and many times what happened, customer always like to say, hey, it is fine, I will use the same password, but it is not the good practice as per the security, right? Security rules, it must be his own password. So in that case, as a good DBA, as experienced DBA, you should expire that password. Okay, so we will expire the password, so that when customer try to log in, it will ask him, like, to change the password. So in this case, what we'll do, alter user w3 password expire. See, user w3 altered. Now let me try to log in. Sorry. All right, now let me connect to that user and let's see how it will work. Connect w3 body / password. All right, see what it is saying. The password has expired, changing password for w3 body. That means it is asking for new password, because we intentionally expired the password, right? So password we will create something like w123h, w123h, and now it is connected. So user, see, w3 body, correct? So this is the way to make it more effective, and it is a good practice always. Okay, so till here we have covered. Now expiring the password is useful for enforcing first time password change. Now many times if customer is doing some activity like migration or any kind of activity upgradation, then always they ask they give multiple accounts to log them, to unlock sometimes. Okay, so if you have any requirement to log the account, you like unused account must be logged into the database. So this is the command to log the account. Copy. All right, and now go back to the SQL developer VS Code extension. See, w3 body altered. Let me clear the output. Okay, so it is locked now. Let me check the status again. Okay, this is the command to check the username, and here we will it will ask for the username. See, w3 body locked, correct? It is locked. Now as the same we can unlock it. we can unlock using this command. So these are the basic commands, and you should have these command handy, right? Clear lock, unlock. Now, uh, to always use unused account or those in are under investigation, like we can lock those account to the not in use as per customer requirement. Now next fourth point is, many times we have requests like for example, you created your user with different or some other table space. What are the default table space? Customer is asking to change the default table space to the user. So how, first you need to check which is the default table assigned to the user, then only you can change, right? So let me check how we can check. This command will provide the information like what are the default table space, which this is users, but many times customer is having some custom table space, right? So in that case you need to change that. How to change? Currently I have not created any table space, so I will not execute this command, but to change the default table space you can use this command, alter user w3d default table space data underscore tvs. All right, ensure need table space sufficient quota before assigning. So how this can you change the default table space? Managing temporary table space, same like default table space, we have to change the temporary table space many times, because it is always not possible like to have temp table space only. Many times it is temp 1, temp 2, and we also have multiple temp table space in the database. So same like we will check what is the default temporary table assigned to this user. So here you can see default table space temp, but customer is asking to change the default temporary table space to temp 2. So you can use this command to change the temporary table space. Currently I am not executing this because temporary temp 2 is not available in my database. All right, but this is the scenario where we get such request. Now view profile. What is the meaning of profile? Profile define resource limit and password policies. For example, customer is having different department like sales, development, testing, and every user need different kind of policies to be applied on their access. So in that case we create profile and we limit the resources as per customer requirement. So let's say how what are the kind of resources we have in profile. So this command will display all the resources which are available in default profile. All right, see here, profile name, default resource name, composite limit, session per user, cp per user, password lifetime. See here there are some limit which are defined, right? But it is not always like this. Customer always need some customization, right? So we can do the customization in these limits, but we can't modify this default profile, but we can create a different custom profile in which we can do the modification as per customer need. So password lock time, password grace time period, everything we can change it, right? Unlimited to some limit, and these limits we can also change. So profile is mandatory. Profile is profile play a very important role when customer asks for the customization in the policies for different department. So we can create that profile and we can assign that profile to the user instead of default profile. All right, so regularly review profile remote compliance with security standards. This is the best practice to regularly review that profile. Okay, and how we can create custom profile. Okay, so this is the syntax: create profile, test underscore profile. This is the name of profile, and limit. These are the resources we are changing to the limit. So let me copy this and execute how it will work. So this is the syntax to create a profile. Now you can see profile percentage is already it is saying some profile test profile is already exist. So previously I created this profile, but let me change the name, profile development profile, development underscore profile. All right, so we will use this and see profile development underscore profile created, right? Let me clear the output property so you will come to know. Now development underscore profile has been created. In that you can modify any resource limit, right? You can set any limit. So it is up to you and as per the customer requirement. Now how can we assign this profile to the new user? Now check it. All right, this is the syntax to assign the profile, but here profile name is development underscore profile, not test. Development underscore profile, correct? w3d user altered. Now if I check it again, which profile is assigned to the user? Previously it was default, but now we have changed the profile, right? So it should show this profile here. All right, so here you can see profile, previously it was default, now it is development underscore profile, and in this profile there are some certain rules which we have set it, right? So like this you can manage it. Okay, and you can also explore more. It is not limited to this much. Okay, now we have privileges. We have created user, we have set the lock, unlock, password expire. Now we have privileges. So we have different types of privileges. Sys privileges mean this is the view for sys privileges, DBAs sys privileges, and let's see how it looks like. Select distinct profile, distinct privileges from DB underscore sys privileges. Let's see how it works. So currently I'm just this command will display the list of system privileges. That means alter user, create table. These permission by default is having to the Oracle DBA, but many times application team asks for such system privileges, so you need to carefully provide those post approval. All right. So this is the view DB underscore sys privileges to check what kind of sys privileges we can provide. All right. But as a DB, you always just need to decide what privileges can harm and what is really needed to the customer. Always ask for the approval. And how we can provide the system privileges: grant, create any table, alter any table to the W3 body. For example, application team asks privileges for particular user, like he want to create a table, you want to alter any table, so you need to provide system privileges like this. Okay, post approval. And how you can revoke the privileges. Let me give you this permission here. uh, Keep waiting. All right, now let me stop this. Actually this output is very long, so we can open terminal, new terminal. Okay, and all right. So here we can see now what we can do: create any table to W3. We are assigning permissions, right? See, grant succeeded. Okay, now we can also revoke, create any table. Any specific permission mistakenly we have provided, we can revoke like this. uh, okay, it is not a big deal. So grant revoked, right? And here object privileges. Object means every user is having different kind of object, like table, indexes, views, procedures, and these are the object rights. So object privileges are specific to tables, view, procedure, etc. So here we can check, this is the view db underscore table privileges, is a view to check the object permissions. So let me check what kind of object permission we are having in the database. All right, just a second. See, create any queue dimension, execute any change, create dimension, drop any outline, create assembly, create table, something like these are the object privileges we are having. Okay, so as per customer requirement, we need to provide these permissions. All right. This is taking some time. I don't know, my database speed is slow because my RAM is not that much high, but you can check like that. Okay, and you can also provide object privileges, something like, for example, any table which belongs to the user, you need to mention the username dot object name, then only it will work. Okay, otherwise it will throw an error. So grant, insert, update, delete on this table, because this table belongs to this user, app user, so you need to mention like this: username dot table name to user. So how you can provide object privilege like this: grant, execute on this is the username dot object name to w3 body, right? So this is something you can provide, but in currently my database this user is not available, so I'm not going to execute this in front of you, but you can use like this. And you can also revoke object privilege like this: revoke, update on app user dot test from w3 body. Okay, so always be careful while providing the permission, because user don't know what kind of permission is harmful to the database, and whatever he is needed, you need to understand that very clearly, the role of user, and then only you can proceed with the permission as per post review owner approval. Now next topic is role management. Role group privileges for region management and auditing. For example, there is a department called audit department. And audit department is only need read only permission on some of the tables. So it is not good idea to provide all the permissions to that user, right? So what kind of permission is needed? We can create a role, and we can assign those specific permission to particular role, to particular department, right? So instead of giving permissions like this, grant, create session to this, grant, select any tables, grant, because 100 of permissions might be needed. So instead of providing 100 of permission step one by one, it is best practice to create a role and assign those permission to the role. So whenever you get request from that department, you can ask for the reference user, or you can ask which department it is, so you can simply assign that role to the user. And it is the efficient way to for user management, like to assign the privileges, and it is always a good practice. So you don't need to assign that to manual permissions. Okay, so role is very effective when you need to specify, you need to differentiate, you need to categorize the permissions. So role is needed for that, right? So how we can create the role? We can create the role like this. Okay, let me execute this command. This role might be available in my database. See, role is created. Now what we will do, we will assign some permission to this role. Okay, so let me check from here. See, currently I'm just providing these permissions for your reference purpose. All right, and let me execute this one as well. See, both permissions I provided. Now how we can assign this role to the customer? For example, w3 body need only these permissions, so I can simply assign this role to w3 body. No need to assign this permission one by one, right? All right, so you can provide these permissions. See, grant succeeded, correct? Now we will check, like, uh, view role assigned to the users, on the which users this role is assigned. All right, where role name is, see, currently these users is having this test underscore role. All right, so like this you can check. And we can also drop role if needed. If suppose if any role which you created is mistakenly created or not using, then you can drop it. No need to keep unnecessarily things into the database in real time situations. All right, so here see, role dropped, correct. Now what we will do, see, list all. Now this is very important topic. Now for example, you created any user mistakenly with wrong configuration, or the customer asked to drop that user, or you created mistakenly and you know this is not currently in use, so you can drop that user. So this is the command to drop user w3 cascade, correct. So cascade option, when we use, we need to very cautious with cascade. It remove all of scheme object owned by the user. So while dropping the user using cascade option, you need to be very careful, and we need to sure, like, you are dropping the correct user, otherwise it will impact largely, right. So here drop user w3 cascade. See, can drop the currently connected because user is currently connected. Let me disconnect from here, okay, and let me try it again. See, it is currently running. Let's see, user w3 dropped. If user is having any active session, then you can't drop any user. So if it is mandatory to drop, then you can first kill those session, active session to the for that particular user, or you can ask application team to disconnect. But many times application team is not available at that time, so you have request to drop the user, then you can simply kill those active sessions, and you can then drop the user. All right, now everything is covered, and I have kept some important queries here. So this is the query to list all the users and their status. Suppose you, as a DBA, you want to understand how many users are there in the database. All right, so you can use this query to list all the users which are available into the database. From DB underscore user view, see, these are the users which are currently available, and which user is logged, open, expired, logged in, expired, everything you will get here. Okay, so this is very important, wonderful command here I kept for you. And let me clear the output. And another command is, suppose you want to check privileges and roles, like, what are the system privileges, what are the object privileges, what the roles are available in the database. You can use this command. Okay, so let me execute all command in one shot. So I hope this will work, although faced not. So we will see why it is not displaying, because w3 already dropped, right. So let me put here HR user, which is already available in the database. Now I will try to execute this command, and hopefully we will get some output. See, HR privileges, create database link, alter session, create view, unlimited table space, create something like that, correct. But I hope this is a system privileges only it is showing. Let me execute this command. These are the object privileges, db underscore states. This is the system privileges currently available. What are the roles available to the HR user? Resource, granted role is a resource, right. So like this you can check all those things. So till now we have covered everything related to user management, but in real time situation you may get some different requirement as well, so you need to explore those things. But this is the basic starting point of for you, and having all the commands in one place so that you can start your work as a DBA. And these are some best practice. Use roles instead of granting privileges directly to the user. Assign custom profile with appropriate password policies. Regularly audit users access and revoke unused privileges. Log or drop inactive account to reduce attack surface, right. So these are some best practices. And let me tell you, even you don't know, for example, here we will see something which we really do in real time. For example, you don't know which column is available. Suppose you have request to check something about failed login attempt or something maybe, and you don't have any clue like in which view you will get that column, and you want to understand as a DBA, right. So it is always describe, always need to describe that views, db underscore users, and then you can create the query, right. Let me tell you how many columns in this view. Okay, so see here it is displaying all the columns: username, user ID, password, account status, log date. For example, the idea is, suppose you have requirement to check the expiry date of particular user or log date for particular user, then this view is very important, right. You need to understand how to describe the view. So here every what columns are available, we have all the information in one shot, right. Username, user ID, password, account status is log or unlog or open, log date, expiry date, default table space, temporary table space, local and temp recreated profile, username, password version, initial audit, right. everything we are having. Last login, when user was last login, password change date also you are having, correct? So if you want to check these things, you can use this view. Even you can write query like this: select star from db underscore users. Like this, you can explore in your way. So my intention is, see, username, user id, password, account status open, log date, expiry date, default table space, temporary table space. All right. And here you can see when user was created, logged, see, username, user id, password, account, log date, expiry date, default temporary table space. And here you are having something like, password version, authenticate type, proxy only, common, profile, everything you are having from this view. Password change, when password was changed. So like this, whatever view you are exploring, you can explore like this, apart from my command. Okay, so I hope this video makes sense for you as a starting point for your DBA journey. And if you like this video, you can share this with your friend or colleagues who are working as Oracle DBA. And you can always bookmark this blog because it is having some very important stuff here. Okay, you can explore and you can navigate. In case any query, you can just put in the comment section. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video.